grilled cheese and tomato soup chips.
My left foot.
Epilepsy Awareness Month.
I like the nightlife. I like the improv. And I don't know what I'll say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting on the bench. Writing's really hard. We need another snack. And that is just a fact. Oh.
Hi, this is Shauna.
And this is Tricia.
And this is Two Girls on a Bench.
The podcast.
We ride on the bench.
We snack on the bench.
And we procrastinate on the bench.
What?
I forgot what I was going to say next.
Usually, most of all, we procrastinate on the bench.
I was like, did we say everything?
Procrastinate. Either is fine. Either.
Listen,
Tomato.
I've got, that's a good one for today's snack book. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
Preview, teaser.
Oops.
I have a quote, and I'm going to read it right now. I'm not even going to dilly-dally.
This is a writing-based quote. I realize we never say what it is we're doing or why.
We write on the bench, okay? So sometimes we write, and sometimes we do other stuff.
And other writers inspire us, and that's why we do a quote every episode.
This is a great writer.
Yes.
That we should all heed his warnings on life. Okay. If people cannot write well, they cannot think well. And if they cannot think well, others will do their thinking for them. George Orwell.
Nice.
Bam, everybody. Not going to talk about the world, but I am talking about the world just by saying that, and just let that sit with you a little bit.
What if he was still alive? He'd be like, fuck.
I know, 1984. God damn it.
You thought it
He'd
was
be like,
bad.
social media. I called that. We're all, oh, well. But yeah, George Orwell, superstar, 1984. If you haven't read it, please.
Yeah, do it.
Get on it. What the hell? Where have you been? Did you live through school?
Also, it does make a big difference. Even if you don't think you're a good writer or good with words, you can be a good storyteller. And you can get there.
But it's also just about being able to articulate yourself. Yeah. So it's sort of can you articulate what you're thinking? If you can't, then other people will do it for you, which is so true. Because we're able to say what we think, write what we think, but it comes from that, right? I don't know. I think it does.
Oh, no, I for sure.
Stop disagreeing with me, Tricia.
I disagree with you 100%. I hate you.
Why have I created an adversary?
So much. I'm such a bad guy right now.
I'm tired of being the bad guy. It needs to be you.
It's my turn to be mean. My turn. It's my turn.
You can do it. So, everybody, we're doing stuff. We're here on the bench. I don't know what we're doing.
So, October was a lot. All the horror was a lot.
And it always is.
Yeah.
And it is so rewarding.
It was.
Yet it is also exhausting.
Yeah.
And we put out 2 episodes in 1 week, and then we were like, woo,
we're
we have
a little
to take
tired.
a break.
Yeah. So
Tricia was burning the midnight oil with her little hands on the mouse.
My little hands on the mouse.
I don't know.
I have little hands.
I don't know. Your hand. You
smell
were
like cabbage.
Oh my God. So I just watched So I Married an Axe Murderer again, recently, and I was telling you about it. There's so many funny lines. And in a recent episode, I kept saying...
It was episode 68 or something. Yeah. I just re-listened to one of them.
Yeah, I was I like the nightlife. I like to
that's
boogie.
What it was. Yeah.
And you're like, it's a song.
I was singing.
And I'm like, no, it's from something. And it's from So I Married an Axe Murderer. And that movie is so funny, and it still holds up.
His little performance art thing. Yeah.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
It is prime 90s shit. If you want to...
Mike Myers at his best.
Go back to the pre-Austin Powers.
Yeah.
And he's just letting his weirdness out a little bit at a time. I love that
dude. My kids are really into Cat in the Hat right now, and he did the Cat in the Hat where he plays them in the live action movie.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to watch that over and over again.
That movie is so funny, and there's so many funny lines that I think I say from it that I didn't realize. Yeah, I mean, because there's a whole thing with his Scottish family, and they call the younger son he has a head like a basketball. He's gonna go cry in his big fat pillow. It's just so. Everybody go watch that movie again if you haven't seen it.
He plays his own dad, right? He plays like double characters.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And the lady that's in it that plays his mom is like this amazing actress that was in like My Left Foot.
Yeah,
and she was like the mom in that, and like she's like incredible.
Is she Irish?
Well, their family is Scottish in the movie because I think that's his background. But in
My Left Foot, weren't they in Ireland?
I think she might be Irish. Yeah, and it's a slightly different accent. I don't want to offend anyone because I know that's important, and I have some Irishness in me, and so do you, and so we don't want to be disrespectful. You probably have more Irish than I do, actually.
I have a little bit more.
You're a Patty.
I'm a Patricia.
You're like a Patty.
My last name would have been Harnden if like my dad hadn't been adopted. Like Patricia Harnden.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's a very like
I forgot Irish that your dad Catholic. Was adopted just now.
Well, his stepdad adopted him.
Okay.
Like when his mom remarried because his dad was a piece of shit. Let's just be real.
Let's just talk about it like how it is.
Yeah. So, but
there's some people that don't step up, and you know who you are, but you don't listen to our podcast because everybody listens to our podcast. It's really nice, and they step
up. There's a. I need to probably do like some ancestry shit on this, but I'm just too lazy. Until my daughter has that project in school, that's probably when I'll get on that shit for my dad's side of the family. But we are related to someone with the last name Ennis, and there's an Ennis, Ireland. E-N-N-I-S.
Yeah.
And, so, like, Shawn Ennis from Stories of Yore and Yore, I don't know if he's related to me somehow, but
cousin, friend, best friend.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I didn't get that sweet, velvety voice he has, but, you know.
Oh, my gosh, my mom listened to that and was like,
oh, did you love it?
My mom and dad listen to audiobooks a lot.
They just love it.
They like put one in every time they drive somewhere. They're like, they love like crime audio drama. I mean, Apple doesn't fall far with the tree on that one. Like they listen to that, and then like my mom, so they listen to a lot of audiobooks, and she's like, that guy was so good. It was like listening to an audio.
They should listen to his podcast because he literally tells stories, and then he does like. He'll put pictures on Instagram of himself, like, trying to make blacksmith noises with, like, an axe and a piece of pipe.
It's so good.
So his stories are even more produced. And that was pretty well produced.
That story was phenomenal,
amazing. Well,
by the way.
Yeah,
if you didn't listen to it, because that's really good.
That would be Ann Fox who wrote that. So
the writing is phenomenal, and then he's phenomenal at telling it. It was a beautiful collaboration.
It was a great matchup, and like once I read her story, I'm like, we can't do this justice. And
no,
it was all.
I can't even imagine a lot of male trying to do that,
if not all male voices. So I really
a scary like killer.
Yeah, and like he changed the voice up for like the demon voice and the robot and all of it.
Everybody go listen to that.
So that was like episode
Creativity.
74, part 2 of in October, and we had some amazing collaboration from not only from writers but from, like I'm saying, like Shawn from Stories of Yore and Yore, which love that podcast.
So distant relative, maybe
related.
It's a possibility
somehow.
You know what I absolutely hate is those ancestry projects. Speaking of which. When they come up for my kids in school, because it's like super painful.
When you have adopted kids, you're like,
it's like a very uncomfortable story. And so I've had to go through it twice with my daughter, where I like sat down with the teacher and like, she didn't do this one, she didn't even want to do it. I'm like, so here's why. And they're like, oh my God, we're gonna just drop it. She doesn't even have to do it, because it's
I'm glad they're cool about it.
Well, they understand, but they don't. Nobody thinks about that because it's, because most families are biological for the most part. And so it's like, but it's like going back or even having to tell your own personal story from birth. Not a good one if it wasn't so great up until a certain point.
Yeah.
So, we've had to do that. So that's like, I have a weird different spin on that. At the same time, my parents are really into the ancestry thing, which is fun for me, like just on a personal level.
Right.
But like, it's just hard for my kids.
Eventually they could do an ancestry thing where it's like, you guys and your mom and dad and then like their people or like that kind of family tree where they
and our family tree is like you guys
you are
too. You know what I mean, like which
extended
we should just redo a new non-biological,
you make your own family, that's for sure.
Family of choice, just putting it out there. No, it's totally true.
FOC, family of choice.
FOC. Okay. There's a lot of ways that goes with those initials. I'm just kidding.
Oh really?
I don't know. I feel like I used to use that for something
FOC.
where I used to work.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, anyway. It was an old boss I had, and we used to always be like, because everybody was like a friend of my boss, and so we used to say friend of Charles. It was FOC, and we'd be like, who's that? An FOC. That's an FOC. FOC. We would say it like all the time.
Right. Now you are. Like if you showed up to something he's doing, they'll be like, oh, that's Shauna. She's an FOC.
That's it. Yeah, I'm an FOC, or he could be my FOS.
Oh my God.
Friend of Shauna. Friend of Sienna. Hate
friend
my
of
name
the bench.
sometimes.
Fob.
Just saying. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I don't hate my name, but the spelling of it and the pronunciation creates so much conflict in my life.
Yeah, if you accidentally call Shauna Sienna, we understand.
We understand, and it's just like it just.
We
happens.
might hate you, but we still love you.
I can't hate anybody because I'm also somebody that reads. Like I read things in my mind. So it's like I can see that when someone
phonetically
meets me on email and then they see me in person and they're like
Sienna.
Their brain like short circuits. They're like, wait, Sienna. And there was this lady that called me Sienna. And then the other day she came up to me. She's like, oh my God, I've been calling you Sienna and your name is Shauna and I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
I mean, at least she didn't call you like George or something weird. Like,
I mean, I could get into that.
Georgie. I work with a Georgie. It's kind of cute.
That's kind of fun.
It's a girl.
It's kind of cool when people have like cool names like that.
Georgie, yeah.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
I know, and then there was silence. And then the podcast stopped.
So we have a snack book.
Cricket.
And we're going to it right now.
All right. Booyah. Give me that snack book. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Shauna's getting a text. I'm going to narrate it. She's laughing.
Oh, sorry.
It's good news. Is it good news?
No, it's just jokes that me and one of my coworkers
is it about
text back and forth.
Is it about Hazel?
So my dog.
Because everybody knows about Hazel now.
Hazel's
you did
a nonprofit professional. And so
Hazel, talk like Hazel. Like
Hazel's like, I really want to be on the steering committee for next year's philanthropy day. She was like bummed that we didn't take her. And then like, okay, so Edgar was at this luncheon.
A whole story.
I went to today for National Philanthropy Day because we are all fundraisers, me and my husband. And so he texted me like at the end of the event, there were like these two young girls that were like these beautiful like young people that are raising money for like this cancer, foundation, and they're like just dolls.
Beautiful.
They're just great kids and make you feel good about the future. And so Edgar texted me, Hazel is so proud of those young philanthropists. And so I showed it to my friend at work because he's like in on the joke now. And I was like, this is what me and my husband said to each other.
We literally like make our dogs talk and then joke about it like in real life.
It's like the best thing that I have going on the side right now is this Hazel, like her being a nonprofit professional.
Her and then Gucci with his like
he's just
elitist attitude.
Yeah, he's just like
that's her
like
other
all
dog.
Yeah.
Gucci's a Shih Tzu who looks like he's wearing a tuxedo and he has a different
He's
voice.
Basically like part of the Downton Abbey cast or like something. I don't know. He does not care about like working hard, but Hazel does.
Yes.
And
Gucci doesn't respect it.
Wanted to come to the luncheon, but she can't because she barks at everybody every day and tried to bite your son again apparently the other night.
Oh,
but
yeah. She has a love-hate relationship with Logan where he'll like drop food.
She has a love-hate relationship with people in general, except for us and her like.
Well, he's littler, so it's like
for the nonprofit
I think it's
world.
just a little bit weird. Like you're close to the ground, you look like a human.
No, and then they get all crazy, and she gets all stressed out,
laughing. Yeah. Well, he's going to cause drama about Hazel every time he sees her for the next few years.
And then one day they will be friends.
One day they're going to be like fine, like when he's like 8 years old, but we got like 3 years to go. So
3 years? 4 years. Oh, he's almost 5.
He's going to be 5 in January. I feel like he's already 5.
He's so big now.
I know. So anyways.
Okay, snack book, sorry.
Book has nothing to do with Hazel.
I don't even know why I started talking about that because I got a text. Okay, so we have a Lay's. Okay. Do you guys remember that Lay's comes out with these weird chips that are like funky flavors, like baked potato flavor or like pizza flavor, or I don't know. They can't. I feel like
there was a
weird
pickle flavored one.
Yeah, pickle. I don't know. We've done some of them, and I can't remember which ones we've done right now. But I know we have because we're like, this is hilarious, and so it seems like it's like a contest or something. Like people submit flavors. Like ideas. So this one,
like Lay's and M&M, we're here for you.
Yeah,
for
right.
all your
Lay's.
flavors.
Hello, we're like totally promoting you. So this is grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Like, how do you make a chip taste like that?
I don't know, and we're trying it live with you all right now.
We're gonna crunch this
I'm gonna
shit.
crunch it. Oh my god, it kind of tastes like
It tastes like tomato soup.
It tastes like tomato soup. It doesn't taste like grilled cheese.
It tastes like a cheesy chip that you dipped in your tomato soup.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost like the egg chips. Maybe I'm thinking of the egg chips.
The egg chips were fun. They were not Lay's.
They were perfect, though. They taste like a fried egg.
They tasted like a fried egg.
That was so weird. This one is like pretty. It's
Those are
pretty
from
good.
like Cost Plus. Lay's, I feel like you could find these like at the grocery store or something.
Yeah,
right?
I got them at like, I don't even know. I just saw it and I picked it up. I don't even remember what store I was at.
Again.
But it tastes like tomato soup. 100%.
Definitely tastes like Campbell's tomato soup.
Yeah, it totally has that flavor.
It does.
You guys, this
Well
is actually
done.
kind of good.
Well done, Lay's.
There's no fun description, which is totally bumming me out. Like, I don't know the history.
Hey, usually it's like, on a cold day, you curl up with a book and some tomato soup.
And a grilled cheese sandwich. It just says rich, cheesy, crispy. I'm like, well,
they were like, let's go
delish.
minimal on this shit.
I know, they didn't even like explain why it was cool.
Because they're like, grilled cheese and tomato soup, it speaks for itself. Done.
They're
Drop
like,
chip.
Yeah, they're like, what are you, un-American? Don't you know what a grilled cheese and tomato soup tastes like?
They're not bad.
Campbell's tomato soup, particularly.
You've got to like a cheesy Pringle or a cheesy flavor chip, and then a tomato taste. Like,
is that what it is?
That was like so dramatic.
Yeah, you're like, you have to like it. You do. All right, so I want you to talk for a minute about the fact that we were just, talking about Dave Grohl.
So the last podcast we did, we were talking about how Shauna, or one of the last ones in October, we were talking about randomly about, because Shauna was going to talk about Nick Kroll. And I said, oh, Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. And then we like turned off the mics for a second. And she went, do you mean Dave Grohl? And then we like recreated it for you all because it was so dumb. And I was like, yes, Dave Grohl. And then Shauna told out her story about how she's met him like 3 times.
I haven't met him, but I've seen
You've been in like an elevator with him, like blah, 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 right? Yeah. So then I'm going to the Adobe Max conference, and Adobe does like Creative Cloud and Photoshop and all that stuff. And it was pretty
Do you guys know what Adobe is? Because you need it for everything.
You do. So Adobe's doing some great things, by the way.
Okay.
And at the
super cool
at the convention center. So you basically watch like 2 football fields to get to any workshops, which was interesting because it turns out I have a fractured foot, which I found out yesterday.
Tricia's like all my left foot right now.
My foot is. I have a stress fracture on my foot.
Oh my god! Full circle.
I know.
So I was talking about the actress that was in my left foot.
My left foot. Oh, what? And my left foot is fucked up.
I did not even remember
Although
that.
I cannot eat tomato soup with my left foot. Like,
you can't do all the things that Daniel Day-Lewis could do with his left foot.
And
that sounds raunchy, but it's not. Go back and watch the movie.
That movie was like the first time I like so was in love with Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, and you wouldn't say that about that character, but like that his acting in that movie was amazing. Remember, like it was.
No, and then he came to the Oscars, and he had this beautiful long hair.
Yeah,
and you were like, "That's the guy that was in my left foot."
That was crazy.
And he was like,
and then he was in Last of the Mohicans.
No, and then we were all in love with him from then on.
Yeah,
and I might still be in love with him
a little bit. So, anyways, my left foot broken, but
sorry.
Just from being around, walking and trying to exercise, apparently you can break your foot. So be careful in the world, people.
Just don't do too much. I'm just kidding. do whatever you need
you have
to.
that inclination to stay inside and just put your feet up and watch Walking Dead for 10 hours. Just do that. It's safer.
Let me just tell you that I watched the entire season of Cobra Kai. The second season.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's something to be said for that. Okay, go ahead. Tell your story. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting.
Okay, so the second day of Adobe Max, the keynote speakers were Billie Eilish and this cool artist, this Japanese artist she works with. And it was like all creative voices must be heard. So it was all different creatives. So M. Night Shyamalan, which of course I was super excited to see.
We love him.
And I saw him in another breakout too. And it was like great. But then
did you get to talk to him? No. Were you like, hey, M. Night Shyamalan?
No, I got his book,
We make fun of your name, which is unfortunate because you're amazing.
I found out a coworker went to like college with him or something. So yeah, randomly.
Intro. Okay.
So anyways, I know, right? I'm like, can we like get to
Except I liked The Village. And nobody liked The Village except me. So I'm your best friend.
Pennsylvania. He doesn't live in LA. Like he's like his own little like person, like
fucking what was that show that we loved that like didn't keep going?
Wayward Pines.
God damn it, that show was so good. That was his thing, wasn't it?
It was
like he was like a producer.
He was
a
producer on it. I think he had some ideas.
God damn it, Wayward Pines.
And then it ended without like letting us know what's going to happen.
With an amazing cliffhanger of evolution and goodbye.
If you want to be sad about a show not continuing but have a good experience, watch the seasons that are on like Hulu.
They're worth it.
Yeah.
Even if you get bummed,
it's kind of like the 4400 or whatever, where it was like such a good show and then it just stopped.
And that guy went on to win an Oscar. Whatever.
Seriously.
Also True Detective. Okay. Keep going.
So Dave Grohl.
Billie Eilish first. My daughter almost like fell over when she found out that you saw her.
Cred. And then Dave Grohl was the last speaker.
What?
And the CEO of Adobe was interviewing him, and she's like, "Is it okay to talk about Nirvana? Are you okay with that?" And he was like, yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Like, what's your problem?
He's all,
dude?
What do you mean? It was like I don't know, launched my career.
She made it super weird. He's like, I talk about it literally all the time.
Like every day of my life. Yeah.
So, and then at the end, she did kind of an actor studio thing with him where she was like, I'll say a word and you say something. And she goes, Dave Grohl. And he's like deaf in the ear she was talking to. So he's like, this is my bad ear. Say it again.
Is he really deaf in one of his ears?
Not deaf, but like has this bad ear, which I'm sure from like being a musician and
being
playing
a drummer
drums.
And not having any good equipment probably when he was growing up.
She was like, it sounds like I'm pissing on her, which I am a little bit. But she was astounded that he couldn't read music. And I'm like, most musicians can't. And that's what he said. He was like, most musicians can't.
He's like, that's why we're amazing, because we do everything by ear.
By ear.
But I only have one ear now, so it's a little bit rough. It's a little bit of a Van Gogh thing going on. Okay.
Her last word to him was Dave Grohl. And he goes, sorry, I like forgot.
I know. I'm all, what happened?
He goes, spaz. And it was like perfect because he is kind of a spaz. Like he's a little spazzy and funny. And he has like a 13-year-old who... I guess she can sing really well, and he's like, I'm watching her on like the path to being a musician, and like she can do everything by ear. Like when she was like 4, she could like copy everybody's accents, like Australian, British, whatever,
cool for
and
her.
Do them really well. And he goes,
we should have her on our podcast.
I know, right? I was thinking that. I'm like, I didn't get that gene. Thanks, Dad. And
oh my God.
No, and then he was like, so now she can sing like anybody she hears, but now it's about finding what does she sound like?
What is her voice?
Yeah. So,
but doesn't he also have like a recording studio or something that he does?
Oh, he saved a soundboard from a famous recording studio and did a documentary about it.
Yes, I was going to say, I remember seeing something about that before.
And then his mom also wrote a book. She wowould go on tour with him, and he's like, I'd like catch her in the green room, like drinking with Green Day and like hanging out like in the dressing room. And she was like, where are all the other moms? Like, why am I the only mom on tour? And so she went around and like interviewed a bunch of musicians' moms and wrote a book about it.
That is so cool.
So I kind of would look that up and read that.
Oh,
like,
that sounds
just
fun.
About her experience, like from the mom perspective.
Mrs. Grohl.
But he was saying that like a lot of things that she found out about people's upbringing is like similar to like how he was as a kid or how he was as a musician. And when he wanted to play the drums, he didn't have a drum set. He just stacked pillows up and put on Tool, or no, not Tool, Rush, and listened to like the same song
how old we all are.
Over and over again on the pillows until he like got the drum beat. And I was telling my daughter, I'm like, you don't need drum lessons. You have a fucking drum kit. Let's put on some music and just play. Like until you
play
get it.
her teen spirit and see what she does.
Oh, I know. I have. I've played her different things, and I'm like, we gotta do this. Oh no, here goes Shauna.
Oh no. But I don't know why I love that song as I've gotten older, which is so weird. But anyway,
I love that song. I loved it when Tori Amos covered it in concert, a cappella on the piano. Did it slowly. It was really pretty. Anyways, so I have a bunch of fun stickers for our sticker wall, which I don't know if you noticed. I made a sticker wall.
Well, I noticed that you put up my Karma ran over your dogma one, and I didn't realize because we had all these bumper stickers from this weird art installation that we kind of did a long time ago.
I put a couple of them up actually.
I didn't even notice. It was right next to me here.
Yeah, so I have all these weird stickers that were hanging around the office. So I just started putting them on the side of our snack cabinet.
This is the best.
So now I have some more Adobe stickers to put up there and stuff. So
this is really fun. I'm just
it's super fun. And if you want to give us a sticker for our sticker wall, just slide into my DMs. If you want to be
part of the Sticker Hall of Fame, which is slowly growing in the podcast room here / Tricia's craft room / where her daughter does her homework. Speaking of which, we have a special guest today.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We should do that next.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. We have a special guest, and her name is Elise, and you've heard her before because she is a great little co-host for us. Another co-host.
She's an aspiring podcaster.
She likes to call our podcast the broadcast.
She never calls it a podcast.
Which is
it's
so
always,
funny.
Are you doing the broadcast?
I want to be, and then
she always thinks we're doing it live.
She was super hype, and she was like. At one point, she's like, "Is this live?"
Yeah.
She was super hype about it, and because we recorded this earlier before her bedtime, so just to be real about it. So, and then of course, Tricia's son,
she's 9,
wanted to be on the broadcast.
Yes,
and he could not. We had to make him leave, and that was not good for him.
There was a lot of screaming.
There was a lot of screaming. He also wanted pie and candy and all sorts of.
Last night I heard the screaming.
It was really rough.
My toddler punched me in the eye.
Yeah, I was like, you need to not punch people when you're mad about not getting pie. Okay, but although maybe all of us would do that, so maybe I should.
Shauna has seen the true colors of my son. Well, and he did get some pie, which is funny. I went to a barbecue with my family this weekend, my aunts and cousins, and I was like, "What can I bring?" And they were like, "Can you bring a pie?" And I'm like, "Thanksgiving is around the corner," and it was like, "Oh, Uncle Bo likes pie. Can you bring a pie? It'd be fun."
Pie.
I'm like, I never would have thought to make a pie. I would have made brownies or cookies or something, and then I made a French silk pie, which is my mom's recipe, and it was super good. And
I used to make that for Edgar, but I think you taught me how to make it though.
Yeah,
probably with that recipe. And we didn't have a good mixer. And let me just tell you that making a French silk pie, we had a hand mixer back in freaking the 90s.
Yep,
everybody.
I think I still have it.
Okay, everybody. This is the 90s when there was only a hand mixer in our lives. Before we had KitchenAids and we got married.
Until they were in marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were register for it was $200. Nobody can do that. So we had a hand mixer, and it was when I was young and in love, and it was Edgar likes French silk pie? Is that what it's called? Yeah, French silk pie. And so you're I know how to make it. And then I was whipping it for 4 years with a hand mixer.
Each cold egg one at a time. It's basically a mousse, and you have to really
it's a mousse, yeah.
Mix it specifically. Nothing can be too hot or too much undermixed. Or
I was
whatever.
into that and making cheesecake for a minute there.
Yeah.
And one day you were running after him with the cheesecake because he forgot it.
This is leftover cheesecake.
This was a long time ago.
Because he was leaving it for
No, I'd made one for his family.
Oh,
this is when I was trying to get in good with my in-laws before they were my in-laws.
I run after him with it.
I don't know. I went and took a shower, or went and did something else, and then you were the cheesecake, and you grabbed it from the fridge and because you noticed that he hadn't taken it, and I had already said goodbye, and he was walking out to his car, and I went and cried, or I don't know what I did. Because we used to love each other so much. I mean, we still do, but this was when we couldn't live together. So, it was different. And, yeah, that was young love.
Young love.
Young love and cheesecake and French silk pie. I mean.
And that is the full circle of Dave Grohl and the snack book.
It's the full circle of everything. And we are now going to introduce Elise.
Circle of life.
Which is Tricia's daughter, who's super badass.
Talk about circle of life.
And she's going to tell us about something really important. And you need to listen because she's
pay attention.
Very smart. So listen. Hello. Right now we have a guest on the bench, a little girl that we call Elise. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
Make sure you talk into the mic, okay?
Hello.
So Elise is here because there's something special about November, and she wanted to share that with you all.
Hi. Actually, I already said hi like about 3 times.
So tell us what November is.
November is Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Yes,
and what does
that's
that mean?
That means people with epilepsy they're celebrated kinda
Uh-huh.
with their family members and so on, or friends.
And there's also a place people can go to learn more information about epilepsy.
Yes, epilepsy.com.
That'll take you to the Epilepsy Foundation where you can, what can you do on that website?
You can search up epilepsy, what you can do if a seizure actually happens to somebody, and yeah.
And you can also donate to the foundation.
You can donate to the foundation.
And that helps with research.
And exactly that. Donating to an organization like epilepsy.com will help the Epilepsy Foundation give more funds to scientists so that they can help find medicines and hopefully a cure someday to epilepsy. So that's really important. Do you want to talk a little bit about why epilepsy is important to you?
It's not really important. It's more of my enemy instead. But I kind of think of it as not a superpower, but Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
I think of it like that because
You think of your epilepsy like Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, because when I get sad, emotional, excited, or angry, seizures kind of start happening.
You have seizures.
Yeah, seizures.
And can you tell us about that? Remember we were talking earlier about what kind of seizures you have that are different. They're all different.
Yeah. There's 4 kinds, right?
There's a couple kinds of seizures.
Yeah, there's a couple kinds of seizures. I don't know them all, but I know a few.
Talk about what you have.
Okay, so I have epilepsy. Why did I start with epilepsy? Absence seizures. And that's basically when you daze off and...
What does it look like when you have that? Do you shake? Do you fall down?
No, I don't do that. I usually just stand in a place. Sometimes I walk or fiddle my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor actually considers that as rare.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have them, it seems like I'm normal, but I'm just not talking. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I mumble.
Can you hear or see when you have a seizure?
I can't taste either.
You can't taste?
You can't taste. Oh no. So let me ask you this question. What's it like for you? Do you don't remember what happens, or how does it feel for you when you have one of these absence seizures?
Sometimes when people don't know that I have epilepsy and I have seizure, and they sometimes get mad at me if they're asking something, I kind of feel sad inside, and it kind of starts more seizures.
Do they think you are ignoring them?
Of course they do.
And then that makes you stressed, which makes more seizures.
Yeah, it actually does. Yeah. But I know that I can talk to them and they will understand. And one time when I had to do a presentation of my class, and also there's this funny story where, not the one where you did, when I did do. Okay, so that's a different story. My mom is the host, and my Nina is
co-host,
and that's what I'm talking to. And so there was a bumblebee on my back
at school,
and I was in 3rd grade. Right now I'm in 4th. Okay, and I had a seizure during that, and we didn't know I had epilepsy. And when I woke up, everybody was yelling at me. Oh, no. I had no idea what was happening. And I started crying like crazy. And
they were just trying to tell you there's a bee on you, but you didn't know why they were screaming at you.
Yes, I woke up.
Did you get stung by the bee?
No, I didn't get stung.
Good. That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you on that one.
I did.
But
I
after
did.
we told the class about having epilepsy, they understood why she didn't react to having a bee on her. They thought she was just being super chill about it, and they were like, why aren't you running away?
Or like very brave, maybe.
Yeah. Super
Wow.
brave.
Like
She's
this.
not afraid of bees. Good for her.
I got stung by a yellow jacket once, aka a wasp.
AKA.
On your belly
Really?
at camp, a summer camp.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Bad news.
It's worse than a bee, but I didn't die. I'm right here, people. So yeah. I get my hilariousness from my mom.
Aw, thank you. I told her since we're an award-winning, comedy
There's
podcast.
a trophy. I see it.
She asked me one day if it was genetic to be funny, and I'm like, of course it is.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got it.
Your Nina and I are both funny, so there you go.
Well, I don't think it's that. I like science too, and I hope to find a cure for epilepsy someday. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. That's a good goal.
Absolutely.
So everybody that's listening right now, please go to epilepsy.com and check it out and donate and learn how to help others. You can volunteer. There's tons of things you can do to find out more about how you can get
All
involved.
kinds of information, too, as far as how to react when you see somebody having a seizure. And there's, like we've learned with Elise, there's so many different kinds of seizures. They're not always like the dramatic sort of, I don't know what we picture when you see on TV, like shaking, convulsing on the ground.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
that's
just
a different kind of seizure.
Yeah.
It's where you fall, shake on the ground, and you're unconscious.
Yeah.
There's also one that you have two in your life, and they are the worst, either one or two, maybe three.
Like a grand
and you
mal
can
seizure.
die from it. You know Flojo? She was the fastest woman. She died from epilepsy. What I just said, the one that you can die from, she had that. I started crying when my mom said that to me.
Yeah, we just learned about Flojo, and in the book you gave us, actually, and we were like, why did she die at 38? And I didn't remember why. It was in the 90s. And we looked it up, and it turned out she had epilepsy. It went undiagnosed, and she had a big seizure one day and passed away. So we got really upset about that because I didn't know that. Did you remember that at all? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That it
Because
happened.
she was like, where's she now? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, where's she?
You don't always know what happens the rest of their life. You don't.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
just try to learn about
She's
that
the
part.
fastest woman. She's famous, and she died from epilepsy. And I didn't know that it was possible that you can be famous with a type of seizure, since it's so rare. Since it's not rare, but it's rarer. I'm having trouble with my voice thing.
with your arse.
With my R's.
Rare
It's
is
kind of a hard
it's
word.
a hard word to
It's,
say.
Can you say it for me?
Rare.
It's that. it's that.
Your mom can't say certain words,
It's
too.
rare.
So. Juster, guster.
It's rare. It's rare.
Rare.
How is
It's not very common.
Not common.
It's not common. Cancer is more common than epilepsy.
Right.
That's why cancer is more of a thing than epilepsy.
People know more about it,
People
usually.
know more about it. I went to a fair with my mom. They had this cancer awareness one. I look for an epilepsy awareness one, and I see no one. I'm just like, damn it.
All right.
That's why this is really important, and we thank you for joining us today, Elise, because
sharing.
Telling people about these things is so important. And now everybody that listens to our show knows somebody that has epilepsy, and that's you. So that right there is going to change
You're
that.
educating people.
You know the person that you listen to every day? That is my mother.
Well, maybe not every day, but
Yeah, people are loving this. Like you've no idea.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming to see us and talk to us. Now you can go into your house.
Now go back into your house and go to bed.
Aww.
All right.
From life on a farm in rural Australia, where wide open spaces made a young woman yearn to know what was beyond her country town. She moved to the city, became a mother, and found her dream career, which took her across the world. But still, something's missing. In her search for love, she traveled far, trusted deeply. She wanted so badly to find someone that she almost lost herself in the process, and learned some hard lessons along the way. Fool Me Twice, a new memoir by Jules Hannaford. Available on Amazon.
So that was Elise.
Yes.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
She is my very brave daughter dealing with something that has been hard. It has sucked. And like, epilepsy is funny because it changes as you grow. And so we've had different, stages, different kinds of medication and different things she's dealt with. And one day she's like, it feels like a video game and we keep hitting another level and it just keeps getting harder. And I'm like, well, maybe the final level is when we get to, win and like, it'll fucking go away. And she's like, damn it. Yes.
Yeah. She's all, damn it.
I know she had to like throw a little like grown up word in there. Like
she's badass.
She's
all, I'm going to go play the drums after I say, damn it.
She wanted to sit in here and watch us do the whole broadcast because she just wants to do it so bad. Like, but
she's a natural. I mean, she's all, I'm hilarious because my mom's
I know. She's like, I can see the trophy. She asked me if it was genetic once, and I was like, of course it is.
She's always been pretty funny since she was little.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always found her very humorous.
She's been quirky from the very beginning. I always wanted, I didn't always want kids, but then when I did, I wanted the kind of kid that would wear like rain boots for 2 weeks and like mismatched clothes. And I totally
like 12 different patterns.
I got that kid.
It was like stressing me out.
She would wear
so
like
many patterns.
plaid pants and like a striped skirt and a polka dot top and like purple rain boots and that's what I got.
And she's
she's
cool.
that kid. She's still that kid. She still wears patterns that do not go together at all.
She's
like, this has
doing
blue
her thing.
and this has blue. One's paint splattered and one's a heart pattern. But sometimes she comes up with stuff and I'm like, now that you mention it, does kind of match.
You're all, that may be high fashion. We just don't know.
We don't know.
I know. It's like really cool.
Anyways, so I do have one announcement. If you are, I'm going to lose my voice right now.
Don't get choked up, Tricia. Is it the tomato
Too many
soup chips? They're so good, though. I just put like a handful of them in my mouth right now. Then I had to wait.
Okay. So our podcast friend, Christine Blackburn, that we met at the Outlier Festival, has a little game show called Story Smash that she does at the Hollywood Improv once a month. And I know we mentioned this back in September because I was like on a little sample of her show
at the
festival.
Yeah.
So she asked me to be on her show and I thought she meant her podcast, but it turns out she wants me to go to the Hollywood Improv and actually do Story Smash.
You're fine.
With like legit, like
you're legit.
People.
What? I don't know why you're like in the midst of that. You were somehow not legit.
One of the judges is Danny Zucker, the producer of Modern Family.
So you're funny. That's going to be fine.
He also wrote a book called He Started It about his Twitter war with Trump. Like, he's pretty famous.
Well, who cares? What matters is that you're funny.
I'm not even going to look up the other people on the list.
Let me just tell you that Trisha's the only picture in this little lineup that actually looks like she's funny. Everyone else looks like very like pretty and serious. And then Trisha's like
mouth open. Well, I'll push this out on Twitter and stuff and I'll put a link in the show notes, but
no, it became my quest the other day to make you a cool headshot.
You did.
I did like 10 versions of it in black and white.
Because all of our pictures are together with us. So you had to
cut myself out.
So anyways, if you're in Hollywood or LA area on November 23rd, which is a Saturday night, come to the Hollywood Improv. It's at 7 o'clock. The show's about an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not a huge time commitment. There's drinks. and funny people.
Hilarity
and
ensues.
So Shauna will be in the audience, hopefully screaming out the best topics when it lands.
You better tell me what
on
they
audience.
Are. Okay.
So,
not Day of Reckoning. Although maybe you'll have a good Day of Reckoning story now. You can prep that just in case.
So tickets are...
Maybe I can be a plant. I'll be like, Day of Reckoning.
Tickets are $10 in advance, $13 at the door, and there's a promo code you can use, DPROMSTORY, and I will put that in the show notes too to get a discount. So
hey, you guys, Tricia's like famous because she's going to be at the Hollywood Improv.
Hey, I'll be at the Hollywood Improv on Saturday night.
See me.
I never thought I'd say that, like, ever.
I know. It's so cool. I love it.
I think we're like on the little stage. I think there's more than one stage there. But still the Hollywood Improv.
It's like a very short stage.
And now I have like a cast on my leg, so I have to like wear that. So I look like half a stormtrooper. So hopefully I'll be able to work that
Hopefully
into
you'll get Star
comedy.
Wars as like your joke. You're all, I'm half a stormtrooper.
I don't even
the
know.
end. And they're like, that was an amazing story.
I don't know what that story would be, except I'd be like...
We start prepping stories for Tricia, and then she doesn't ever get those categories.
Nope. I still have a couple in my pocket I didn't use from before, but I'm going to have to like go through all those categories because I'm nervous.
You're good at improv. You'll be fine.
So anyways, come and see me freak out on stage, and some other funny comedians. And Christine Blackburn, her show... Story Smash actually plays episodes from the Hollywood Improv, and then she also interviews like amazing people and has them tell stories.
And she did one of our candy things where she
talked
about
was on our show,
her and her family and them dividing candy up and stuff. It was great.
Yep, and she's got another podcast called Screwed Up Stories where she just interviews women. They've got like over 150 episodes or something where they've because every woman has a screwed up story of some kind. And I'm sure men do too, but her show is woman focused.
No,
which
whatever.
I like.
All of our stories are more screwed up.
So
everything's twice as hard for us. Sorry, everybody. I said it. Okay,
yeah, you can say
I
it.
said it.
Yep. She. So listen to that show too if you're looking for a different podcast to listen to that's so funny and not about true crime. Those are good ones.
Not that we don't like the true crime.
We still like it
because we do.
I'm just saying sometimes you need a little rinse off from.
God,
like,
I started listening to
Homicide Hunter.
I'm like,
Culpable?
Yeah, I hadn't heard it. Maybe you told me to listen to it. Or maybe I heard it on Paranormal Chicks.
I think it was.
I heard it somewhere.
It was an ad on... Somebody else mentioned it.
I've heard it mentioned on other podcasts, and I finally listened to it, and it is like a jacked up story. So that's a good one if you feel like that. But also, okay, side note, side bench. There's this cool show on TV, like on some channel that I can't remember which one it is.
Shall remain nameless.
On one of the major networks. And I started watching it on demand called Evil. Have you seen this?
No, but I saw the show.
Just go watch it.
Is it really good?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's good.
It's
saw like a commercial for it.
It's cool because it's about this lady who's like a psychologist, psychiatrist, and I can't remember which one. And a guy that's like works for like, he's like training to be a priest. He's like a very handsome man. So that we're like not sure about him being a priest. But anyway, and then this guy that used to be on Lost, one of the like main kind of bad guys from Lost. You'll recognize him if you see him. I don't know his name. I'm not really representing that well right now. But anyway, and Asif Manvi, who used to be on The Daily Show.
Oh.
So the three of them, the
actor?
handsome guy, Asif Manvi, and yeah, I heard a whole interesting like story. I think I was on WTF about his like background and stuff. He was a total actor, like for sure, and then just landed the like Daily Show thing. He's a main character, and they're basically trying to either put forward or debunk like miracles or exorcisms.
Ooh, I love that already.
So they're like basically being contracted by the Catholic Church to like come in as like the three of them, where he's like the tech one that's like, oh, that's somebody like manufacturing a voice and like putting it through an echo dot and like doing like whatever, you know, and it's not a real haunting or like a real like demon or something.
Right.
And then she's doing a psychological evaluation of the person. And then the other guy is like the miracle guy. He's like trying to be a priest or whatever. So the three of them go in and they like investigate like somebody that's doing like prophecies, somebody that's like possessed that needs an exorcism.
But it's all fiction though, right?
Yeah, no, it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's so good. I love it.
It's awesome. Have you watched Castle Rock, the second season yet?
I'm like right along with you on it. I'm like right up to the episodes.
So good. So LA Not So Confidential just did an episode on killer nurses.
Oh, they did? Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
I think it's their latest episode, like last week.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Dr. Scott and Dr. Shiloh like go through like some psychological too. There's a lot of stories, but Annie Wilkes comes up a lot because the fictionalized version of what she was doing,
which is Misery, but this is the backstory.
A lot
Misery.
of it, I know Dr. Scott talked about it a lot, and I'm like, I'm right here with you. I could hear like the anticipation in his voice because like as it gets to more and more into her story,
when you start to realize it's
and
her.
the town story too, it's such a good. If you like Stephen King, shout out to Mel Brooks, Brook Reading Pod. It is so good. It is so good.
Tim Robbins, you guys.
I know.
Shut up.
Hello.
It's a great show.
It's really good. So, anyways, so that was our TV corner on the bench.
Tim Robbins?
Yeah, Tim Robbins.
Oh, okay.
From Shawshank. And
just now I thought I said Tim Curry.
Nope.
And I'm like, that's a different person.
That's the
but
Rocky
when I
Horror
said it,
Picture Show.
I was like, wait, did I say Tim Curry? I meant Tim Robbins.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
That was a whole different thing that happened in my brain right now, and I got like really confused. I was like, wait a minute, did I say the wrong person? Well, I meant Shawshank, Tim Robbins.
This whole episode wrap up has just been like Tricia and Shauna's like month in review of TV podcasts.
Come on, you guys.
You know what? While we're at it, I'm just gonna say it. There is Hong Kong Confidential. Jules Hannaford has a new podcast based on her book called Fool Me Twice about being scammed on a dating site. Oh. And they're only on episode 3, and her daughter and her put this show together. They have Dr. Scott on, and I think Dr. Shiloh as well, to analyze the situation between like ghosting and faking to be somebody else who like you're not.
Catfishing and all that shit.
Yeah, catfishing, that's what's called. So, listen to her show. It's so good. So that was just like cool. Major shout outs for a couple podcast here on this episode. A couple. I don't know what accent that is. Or
you
where
just
that
added
came from.
a letter to that word that wasn't there before.
I have no idea what's going on.
A W fell out of the sky.
I got excited because every time a new one comes out, I like tweet at her. I'm like, I need more. I want to hear the whole story.
To hear it. And
her book's on Amazon. It's called Fool Me Twice. So her book must be super good, which I need to get that too because I can't get enough of the story. It's horrible what happened, but they have other people too who come on and talk about their experience. Like, I sent this guy money, or I believed in this person and like got scammed, and just all kinds of shitty things. But like, it's so enthralling.
It's interesting, yeah, for sure. I also started listening to like, I don't know, it's like season 5 of Uncover.
Yeah,
have you heard that one?
No, not yet. I have it like in my queue. There's no like Wi-Fi at my work, so I've started like downloading podcasts to my phone.
And
so
now
I
your
can
phone
listen
is
to
like,
there.
I have no more memory.
Yeah, my phone's like, stop it. But that's another story. Okay, so this has been your TV moment.
You've also learned about other podcasts. You've also learned about epilepsy, so go to that website again.
And comedy.
Donate. And what?
And comedy. And
improv. And comedy and improv.
This has been very educational.
A lot of things have happened.
The freaking writing prompt for September.
Jesus.
That's what I was going to do.
There's a writing prompt for...
Okay, wait.
Did you say September?
I did.
We're going to go back in time.
It is not September.
It's for November.
Holy shit. And
like, you made this one up.
I texted it to you like...
I forget
So we text each other about 200 times a day.
So if you have to go back and find a text,
I'm trying to find it.
It's going to be like 1,000 where I'm like,
I'm getting
I like
closer.
cheese or whatever. And then it's like 12
It's just like a bunch of pictures of your daughter, her birthday, the delicious gluten-free cake I made.
Oh my God. Tricia, okay, my daughter just turned 13. So everybody, she's
also,
a teenager.
Yeah.
Watch out. Me, I said to myself, Trisha's such a nice Thea. She like made a cake and got her a ukulele and taught her how to play it. Trisha's nice.
It was fun. And we're going to learn some Christmas songs together. And then maybe we'll do a little Christmas song feature.
A little ditty.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. For the writing prompt. Okay. This is for November.
For Write Club. Get into it, everybody. Drum roll.
3 minutes, no more than 250 words.
I can't do a drum roll.
And let's make it do Let's make it due
Thanksgiving.
by...
Just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say the 23rd, so it'll be the week of Thanksgiving. That episode will come out like that week. So if it's due by let's say the 22nd. So you have 2-ish weeks.
November 22nd, get it together. Yeah. Here's the prompt. Go, Tricia.
Sorry. Okay. I walked in. The whole family was there. What could go wrong?
Wah, wah,
Boom.
Wah. That's so good. I love it.
I made it up one day.
And let me just tell you, I can't wait to see all the weird things that come out of that. No, I mean, like, it could be like, I'm not even going to say because people will come up with stuff. Yeah. I just thought of a weird idea and it was like, hopefully, no, I'm going to write my own. I just came up with an idea right now.
Write it tonight and date it.
Write it tonight.
Tonight. Okay.
That's it, everybody.
All right, keep writing.
Keep snacking.
Bye.
Bye.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Girl sitting next to me.
Never
seen her before in my life.
Okay, good.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup chips.
My left foot.
Epilepsy Awareness Month.
I like the nightlife. I like to boogie. I like to improv, and I don't know what I'll say. I totally screwed that up. I couldn't not say boogie.